Okay, this is going to be a quick video about my African herb connection. How I deal with herbs in Africa. I go to the market. A friend of mine took me to the Nima market in 2011 and said, you got to start getting on the African herbs. I was getting colds every time I came to Ghana, and I really think it's from the air circulating on the plains. Or maybe my immune system adjusting, I'm not sure. But anyway, so I started doing that. The deal is I got malaria in December 2011 and I got it again in April of 2012. And that's when he took me to the Nima market after April of 2012 and I started this herb combination. And he got the stuff for me. The only one I knew was the yellow. The yellow is this one. A friend of mine in Cameroon turned me on to this in 2008. And we would sit around. She said it's good for your immune system. I didn't know what it was, but it's part of a tree. I think in the U.S. it's called yellow dart, and I didn't know that for years, but I think it's the same thing. She says it's good for your immune system, and because it's natural, I tried it. Okay, that's yellow. And then another one is this one, and this one. And I really think they're the same thing. I think they look a little different, but I think they're the same thing. And they're good for that male energy thing, you know. Like natural Viagra, of course, it's not as strong as Viagra, but it's similar. You know, it's supposed to help boost that male energy. This one I think is cocoa. I'm not sure, but I've gotten it before. Cocoa. This, the lady told me it was yellow. I got this when I first got here. And I got this pot. This is my herb pot. When I went to the Nima market, my partner told me what kind of pot to get, how to wash these herbs, prepare it, put them in this pot, and then bring it to a low simmer and a boil, and then turn the fire off and let it cool, and then you pour it in your containers, like these bottles like this, 1.5 ounce, whatever you pour it in. And then I drink like a coffee cup amount of it a day, or half a coffee cup a day. Coffee cup like this, maybe half of it a day. And interestingly enough, I haven't had malaria since April 2012. And I stayed here for 18 months after that. My girlfriend got it a couple of times, her kids got it, and the people that was living on the property where I was living got it. I didn't get it. And I'm no stronger than they are. I'm not as strong, in fact, when it comes to local illnesses and diseases. I got other things, but never got malaria again. And I'm convinced it's this yellow. When you go to the market and you ask them what's yellow for, they'll say for fever. They don't say for malaria or for typhoid, they just say it's good for fever. But malaria brings fever. And I think, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving medical advice, I'm just telling you what works for me and what I believe has worked for me. When you travel to malaria areas, especially Africa, the CDC, the medical community in the U.S., they'll try to, well, they don't try, they tell you, they recommend you take pills, anti-malarial pills. You take one pill a day for a week before you leave. You take one pill a day the whole time you're in Africa. You take one pill a day a week after you get back, and that's hopefully will prevent you from getting malaria. I met a couple of sisters in Kumasi in 2011, 2010. And one of them had been taking the malaria meds. She got malaria. The other one had not taken any, and she didn't get malaria. So it's not a guarantee. Hopefully it'll help. But I never have taken the pills. But I'm convinced that yellow, along with these other items that I showed you, this is what it looks like after it's boiled. That's what it looks like. I did this yesterday. I'm just getting back home. I'm gonna take the herbs out. I'm going to pour the liquid into these containers and I just drink half a cup of it a day. And I think it works like the pill. The pill builds up a barrier in your bloodstream. The mosquito going to get you either way. The female, that's the one that carries the malaria vector. And the pill is supposed to build up a resistance, so even though the mosquito gets you, it doesn't penetrate the cell and inject the antigen or whatever it is that causes the disease. And I'm convinced that these natural things have the potential and actually work the same way. Build up a barrier in the blood. That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but something worked for me. Because you could say I just lucked out. I think it's more than luck involved. But anyway, that's my African herb story. Hope it's interesting to you. And that's what it looks like. Of course, these are mango, the best tasting mangoes I've ever had anywhere in the world or in Ghana. The fruit is delicious. I think it's because of the soil. These I've had for a few days. I paid, got 3 big ones, and I went to the grocery store, the new Malcolm, and I paid about 50 cents for 3 of them. That's the cheapest I've ever gotten. About 50 cents, a little over 50 cents for these 3 big mangoes. Okay, peace out.